Imagine being divorced for 10 years, living life, a peaceful life, when your now grown daughter comes to you crying, saying, "Mom, I'm so sorry. My stepdad never did touch me. Dad put me up to it because he was trying to get back with you." What's your response?
They ass need to go to jail. That's the response. They need to go to jail. Your daughter, your ex-husband, who was her father, need to go to jail. However many years that man served in jail, I don't know if he did, but however many years that man served in jail, they need to serve that plus another 5. They need to go to jail. That's how messed up our laws are in this country. That just the accusation of something of that nature is so explosive that it could ruin a person's life. But yet we don't do enough investigation to find out whether or not the incidents happen. Now I know we do need to protect our children. I protect my children like a big dog. When me and their mother got divorced, even if the person never showed any signs of anything that would make me feel like I would ask my kids, they look at you in a kind of funny way. They bursting into your room, especially my girls. They bursting into your room. They touching you. And even my son, I asked them, they touching you any kind of way, acting any kind of way, walking into the bathroom, asking questions. But even if they had said yes, I would still have investigated to make sure they wasn't saying anything that could lead to them lying because they think that it may get me and their mother back together. I would ask, investigate. I could never just take on what they said because people lie. They lie all the time, even when there's no reason to lie. And our system is so messed up that every man, if the men who watch this, fellas, I want you to be honest. How many of you live with the fear or have experienced the situation where the woman attacked you and then threatened to call the police and say that you attacked her? How many of you have been through that situation and your ass was the one who went to jail? Other than the fact that I do not tolerate any kind of domestic abuse, the other part of it is I know that if I'm with a woman who would attack me physically, that she could call the police and tell them that I attacked her and my ass is the one that's going to jail. This is why some people questioned when I divorced a woman who slapped my credit card out when I told her I was leaving. But first, I told her I just wanted to take a break and just go to the gym because all that damn arguing. And then when she was like, "Well, just if you're gonna leave forever," and I was like, "Okay, fine." And then when I was setting things up to leave forever, and she slapped my credit card out of my hand and then grabbed my phone and threw my phone, and then grabbed my phone again and was trying to hold my phone, and I, grabbed her arm and to get my phone. People was like, "Oh, well, that wasn't nothing. What did you do to make her act that way?" I was like, "Would you ask a man? What did she do to make him hit her? No, of course you wouldn't." But even that slight amount of violence of her slapping my cards out my hand and snatching my phone and throwing it, that's enough. And she did say to me a few days later, "I could have called the police on you and you'd have went to jail." Even if I had a slight moment of thinking of working that relationship out, that statement alone would have made me say, "Oh, hell no." Because now I'll be living under her thumb. She already wanted me living under her thumb and I refused. And that was the cause of most of the arguments. But now you want me to live under your thumb, the fear of going to jail. Huh. Ladies, if you don't realize it, I guarantee if the guys are honest on here, most men live in that fear, knowing that she can put you in jail, lose your job, lose your credibility, lose your company, lose whatever it is you're going to lose. 9 times out of 10, you're losing. Our government system needs to be better. It needs to thoroughly investigate these things. And I know some of the rhetoric is that if a person who makes a false claim uh, may face some type of punishment, it doesn't have to be, if the person makes a claim and it just can't be proven, that's one thing, no punishment. But if a person makes a claim and we find out it's a lie, it needs to be more than just, "Oh, you got to pay some fines and fees." or some civil action. No, that fucker need to go to jail. So, young lady, I know you don't want your daughter to go to jail. You probably wouldn't mind if her daddy went to jail. Your daughter and her daddy need to go to jail. And you lost probably a good man. And that man's reputation is probably destroyed. I hope that you do whatever's in your power to fix that man's reputation. That man will probably never trust you ever, but at least try to fix his reputation. And your daughter and your husband, they ass need to go to jail. But what do you guys think? And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.